Hi, this is Chris, and the solar install is now. I'm working on the inside, and it's going to look like going under the convertible sofa bed is really going to work out well. Everything is of the right height. There, you can see that, for the sofa bed to still operate, and this is going to work out well. Alright, let me go over it. This is going to be a short video. Okay, in that void in there is a charge controller, and it looks like a good place for it. I'm going to glue a little piece of 1/4 inch plywood in there so I can mount it. It looks like a good place. Now the two batteries, this is 2 by 300 amps. That looks fine right there. They're right close to the charge controller, and I can hook them up with the 4 AWG pigtails I've got. And then it's a very short run over here to the inverter. 5 kW inverter, a total of 400 amp flow from the batteries will be handled through the cables. Those two buses. Now the wires that are up on the front tongue that currently charge a battery up there, I'm going to bring them inside, underneath, hook them to the bus, and then I'll hook the charge wires, there you go, from the charge controller under there to the bus, and that'll combine the charging for the batteries. Okay. There's the terminal. That's a 40 amp terminal. That'll give me 40 amps of 120 volt. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this 10-2 Romex with ground, and I'll just run the cable back there and underneath the LP gas heater. And by the way, that LP gas heater needs to come out this summer for repair, but I couldn't be happier. There's room for it under here, and there's room for all the solar equipment. That's really cool. So it'll run back there underneath, and then back in there where a heater duct runs, and behind the heater duct there's a water pipe. And with just a little bit of drilling, I can get that cable through these cabinets and behind the stove. I'm going to pull the stove tomorrow. Now, right behind the stove is where the 30 amp power supply comes in. 30 amp grid comes in. So what I'm going to do is turn that on there. I'm going to mount the transfer switch here just right below there. And I'm going to cut the 30 amp cable and go ahead and hook it up for now, because I am upgrading to a 50 amp service there, but not yet. But I might add, right now, everything back there in the office now is running off of this box. It's no longer hooked directly to the service outside. What I did was I brought the cable, the power cord around here to the front, and I just plugged it in the outlet. And yeah, so that outlet outside is also that outlet. And the only thing on that outlet is a laptop and the monitor. So this whole room is, so on this 40 amp, I am running the freezer and the fridge, and when I want, the server, the air cleaner, the monitor, blah blah. So that is proof more than enough that another 10 amps is going to more than run everything on board here. And yeah, this is a really cool thing. Not only that, look how easy all this puppy's going to be to hook up. I have number 4 AWG pigtails. I'm gonna shorten them. I don't want them all looped all over the place. But yeah, everything's really close. The cables are short. There's the charge controller tucked away, and I may put it where I can see the display better. But it's really cool because with the 4 nuts out that mount this couch cushion, there's the cushion, I can just lift it up and off. And it'll lift it up and off, and there's all the solar equipment. Not only that, This equipment is air conditioned, nice and cool in the summer, and very cool in the winter, because down next to the floor it's kind of cool here. And then one more thing. I'm only going to have 400 watts initially on the panel, so that charger, I'm probably going to install it in here somewhere. And so I'll be able to turn it on, flip up that, turn it on, and top off the batteries. So the panels, I think they'll be putting in, about maybe 10 amps or something like that, and that's not enough. And then that guy right there, it's a good one. It's intelligent. It comes on if the batteries are low, charges them, and then turns itself off. Alright, and then one more thing. For that compartment, I found a fire suppressant for hybrid boats, that have a bunch of big batteries in them, like the big hybrid catamarans and all that. And I did find a suppressant that I can mount under there, but I don't think I'm going to have any troubles. I mean, all the equipment is right there and accessible. I can check it anytime, and if there's any problem, yes, I'm going to put a heat monitor under there. But I can reach down here and feel the batteries anytime, and the charge controller. The trim piece there on the front, I don't know if I'm going to put it on there, but I think if I do, it'll help the airflow, because it's really all loosened through there. And yeah, that trim piece, where the hell is it? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, that big thing there. It'll probably help the airflow, but yeah, I'll put a temperature monitor under there, and a fire sensor and suppressant. And then, like I said, I'm so glad all the solar equipment under here, and then there's room for the furnace too, and to work on it. I'm not worried at all about a gas line being under there. Not at all. Those batteries are sealed. I don't think anything. And if I want, I'll put a gas detector under there. But this place does have a really good, there it is, gas detector. And carbon monoxide detector. And a smoke detector. So with something to monitor the batteries and the space under there, I think I'll be fine. But that's the way it's looking now, and I'll probably go ahead and hook all these up tomorrow. And but I'm going to need help to get that stove pulled and get the transfer switch. But really, what I want to do is, get everything hooked up, and then get a meter on the outlet sockets and all that, and that 40 amp terminal, and see what it's looking like. Other than that, there you go. Everything will be hidden right under the couch there. And the environment for it will be just fine. I keep it cool in summer, and next to the floor is nice and cool in winter. Alright, thanks for joining. This is Chris signing off.